was most at home I feel any place since I left the place I was born. This is where I decided in the world to settle down. I come here one time to help somebody get firewood. There was an old clear cut and all the trees were down, but it was so beautiful, the panorama of the mountains and the lake and all that. Oh, that'd be a nice place to live. Yeah. I've been here since 1979. That must be over 30 years, I guess. Before I come here, I was a traveler. I didn't feel at home. It took me a long time to really feel at home here because of the sort of tenure I had, because I didn't want to get too attached to the place. How it was going to go, I never did. I still don't. But at this age in my life, I'm not so concerned about the outcome. I kind of grew into the place, and my daughter was born here in the Kootenays, so that's probably the reason that it made it home for me. Because I got more attached to the place. Now this is it for me, probably. When I decided to make a living farming, I have to go back to my childhood and how I started. I come from the west of Ireland, and my childhood was, I have fond memories of my childhood and going and the things we did and my experiences with how we did things, and I when I come to southern Ontario, I work for farmers. I was the immigrant kids. It was quite common for them to work at an early age because that's what we did in the old country. When I hit my mid-40s, I decided, this work that I'm doing is totally meaningless to me. I decided I'm going to try not to have to do this. And that's when I decided to farm. I wasn't really super aware of why I was doing it. It was just something that was in me. And I was unhappy with the way I was making a living. It was so meaningless. And I've always liked being on the land and doing gardening and so on. So I decided that I'm going to try and make a living at this. It takes a lot of dedication, yeah. And if you're doing it just because you're going to get $11 an hour, it's not enough for that kind of work. But if you're doing it so you can learn to do it well and someday do it yourself, then it's worth your while doing it. And it has to be bigger than myself, whatever. If I have to have a motive for what I do, otherwise I'm totally lazy. So what motivates me is working with other people, but it has to have some meaning to it. So when I started growing food, I come to realize that this is really important to feed my family and my friends and people around me, and that over the years it's become an issue. Things become clear to you what motivates you more, and you get more honest with who you are and your limits and all that. Working from the heart and working with a sense of freedom is you gotta have the balance, eh? You have to have the discipline to get up in the morning when you have to. You have to have courage. You have to be courageous, and you have to put up with discomfort and all this stuff, and then you have to see what you're doing as being fairly important, and maybe a part of your survival, and then you can do what I do. So it's to me, life is do or die, and then you're living.